Well, we are now less than 48 hours away from Election Day, and Texas has become the talk of national coverage. So we wanted an inside look at how the local campaign trails are going in this unique cycle.
In this half hour of our leading SA segment, we welcome the representative from the Bexar County Republican Party, Dina Abiasi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're just going to jump right into the questions. Texas now being considered a swing state in a lot of circles. What are your expectations and what are you seeing out there on the campaign trail?
Well, we don't think Texas is a swing state. We think Republicans are going to win Bexar County, and we think Republicans are going to win Texas. I know a lot of pundits are saying that, but I think that's wishful thinking. You know, Texas loves our oil and gas industry. We love our gun rights. We love our law enforcement and police officers. We love our religious liberty. We love our children in our schools. We love legal immigration and secure borders, and we love our military. So those are all Texas values. Those are all Republican values, and those are things where Republicans lead. So we're going to win Bexar County. We're going to keep Texas red, and we're going to bring a red wave.
Well, we've had record turnout of voters already. How do you think early voting went for your party?
You know, early voting went very well for our party. And I think the most important thing to think about the record wave of voters is it is so great. How wonderful is it for Americans to, you know, register to vote, become informed voters, and to get out there and vote. We've had record numbers, and that is not a partisan issue. So no matter what side of the aisle you're on, that is an American value, to vote and to have a safe and voting time. I'm sorry, but it's great, and we're excited about that. We had, I think, in Bexar County there were over 1 million people registered to vote. As of right now, we've had 680,942 voters. There's still some mail ballots coming in, but that is 56% of the vote, give or take. So we have a lot of voters still out there. We are reaching out to them in a very aggressive campaign and talking to them about our message. And we're really excited. We think that the early voting shows that the north side, which is particularly usually votes well for Republicans, has been very active. We see other voting sites that have shown that we feel like we have represented ourselves well. And again, we are very excited. And again, the increase in voters and the increase in registrations, that is not a partisan issue. So we're really happy about that. And we also want to thank all the people that are, you know, working in the polls, the poll workers, and our Bexar County elections officials for doing such a great job and for working really hard to put off this election. We really appreciate them.
Fantastic. Yeah, they are working 24/7. Now, you said you want to turn Bexar County red. Now, back in 2016, 54%, didn't go red. So it was 54-41. So is your team more concentrated on national races, Texas races, or just the local races?
Well, of course, I'm working with the Bexar County local party here as a volunteer. But so, of course, we're looking at the local races. So what our message is that we care about all of our candidates and we care about all of our voters from the courthouse to the White House. So we have incredible local candidates that are running for the judicial races. We have local races that are nonpartisan that we're focused on for, as an example, that like me personally, NEISD race, and then the state Board of Education race, which is a really very contested race and a very important race. So we're looking at the local politics, and we're working hard on with all of our candidates and all of our platforms and getting out the vote locally. But of course, we have amazing statewide candidates that we want to reelect, of course, and we want to bring some new people into become elected officials. So we're working hard on our statewide races, and we believe that we're going to bring those to a win as well. And then, of course, nationally, we have an amazing candidate. I mean, how much energy does Trump have? He's making 14 different campaign rallies in the next few days. I mean, if our president can go and rally the nation, we can certainly rally Bexar County. So we're energized, we're excited. We really love this time of year. It's such an amazing American value to be able to go and pick your candidates. I mean, we are a representative Republican, so representative representative republic. So this is a right that we shouldn't take for granted. All of us should get out and vote. You know, no matter what your party affiliation is, I'm encouraging you to vote. But of course, I think our message is better, and I think our message takes us into it's a message that we should conserve because we are conservatives. We want to conserve our American values. As the president said, we're never going to be a socialist country. We're going to fight against that. We are a country that loves our freedoms. We love the free market, and we love capitalism. So, of course, that's what Republicans stand for. So we encourage everyone to get out and vote. So we're excited, and we think Bexar County is going to go red, and we think we have the best message.
Well, thank you so much, Chairwoman. And if you can see these full interviews from both parties on ksat.com later this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Get out and vote.
Thank you. All right. And we have had months and months of anticipation for this election. Now, with early voting over, we are just 2 days away from Election Day. And to say this has been a unique election would be an understatement. Still a lot of questions on both sides of the aisle.
In today's Leading SA segment, we are set to speak to a member of each local party. We flipped a coin, and up first this morning, we are joined live by Bexar County Democratic Chairwoman Monica Alcantara. Good morning, Chairwoman.
Good morning, both of you. How are you this morning?
Doing well.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us dark and early. This, I guess, light and early. Yeah, we got the time back. All right, so we're going to dive right into the interview. Texas has been the center of a lot of political talk recently across the country. So what Texas races do you think will go blue?
Well, right now, we are looking heavily at Roland Gutierrez's race. We want to ensure that we take back Senate District 119. It has always been a Democratic seat. We also are looking very heavily in our Selena Montoya race for House District 121. And then, as you know, locally, we're also looking at Christine Hortick in Commissioner District 3.
Well, we know that early voting is officially over, and after 18 days, a record number of 595,282 people have cast their votes in Bexar County. That's just in-person voting. As for mail-in voters, election officials say more than 85,000 mailed in their ballots, so making it far more back than in 2016. You know, how does that play out? With what demographics do you think are a big part of that turnout?
Well, in Bexar County, the Bexar County Democratic Party and all of our clubs have worked extremely hard over the last few years, really tilling the soil, ensuring that we were registering voters for the last several years, especially in areas on the north side. And so we're really excited at the outcome and at what we're seeing.
So what are you seeing? I mean, we see this huge record turnout. What demographics are you hitting harder? You said the north side, but are there any specific groups?
Well, yes, we've hit the north side extremely hard. We're also pulling out or reaching to our Latino voters on the south and west side. And we also have been really working really hard on the east side of Bexar County. So there's just a couple of demographics that we are really trying to target. And we worked really hard to ensure that we registered voters within those areas.
What about young voters? We see stories and we see anecdotal evidence, but what are you seeing with younger voters? Is that more of a target? Are you seeing more and more young people out there?
Well, I mean, right now, the future is theirs. And so, we worked with several of the campuses to ensure that we had UTSA helping us in voter drives. And several other of the colleges. And like I said, the future is theirs. And so they are extremely encouraged. They were encouraged and are out there registering voters themselves.
Well, we are in the middle of this pandemic. What unique obstacles has that presented for the Democratic Party?
Well, of course, throughout COVID, we had to switch. We had to kind of set aside our in-person events, but we rather quickly started with virtual town halls. As you all know, we had a virtual convention that took place that was we felt was extremely successful. But we had all of our Democratic candidates here locally kind of pivot to kind of the virtual world and continue forward. Even in the midst of COVID, we were still reaching out to everyone. We were still holding town halls. We had several drive-through events where members, Democratic members, could come by and meet the candidates or see the candidates and pick up signs. So even though we had to kind of switch from our in-person events, we were still able to hold large events virtually and through drive-through.
All right, Chairwoman, thank you so much. Good luck the next 72 hours.
Thank you, guys.
And time